Hey, what's up, guys? Carl back with my video. And today, I want to continue my What If series there. What if Naruto was a girl? Part 9. So, the last part in part 8 there, we see Naruto was technically following Jiraiya everywhere and stuff like that. Technically he was technically trying to ditch her and stuff like that, and then he was saying something to Naruto there. She was like, "You pervert" and stuff like that, and then most of the ladies like, "Oh my god," and then they mostly like leave and stuff like that, and he's like, "No, come back, ladies," and stuff like that, and then he was like, he wanted a lady there and stuff like that. Naruto gives him the watermelon like Naruto did in the original series, and he's like, "You idiot!" And then mostly cuts up the watermelon and stuff like that. Mostly giving the watermelon to her and stuff like that. And then he was actually saying, "How about like a lady?" And stuff. She's like, "Oh, you want a lady and stuff?" And then she does her sexy jutsu there. At least, and it's mostly the older version of her, but with, and stuff like that. And then he's like, "Perfect 10" and stuff like that. And then she's like, "You pervert" and stuff like that. Um, and then and he's like, "What do you want?" and stuff. And he's like, "Okay, I'll train you." So technically, he trains her there. He told her to actually do her chakra there, or her. He told Naruto to do the wasting up her chakra there and stuff like that. Mostly when she was wasting up her chakra, and he's just like he shoot. And then Dry said, "Finally, I'm gonna teach her how to do the fox's chakra there." So technically, he tried to do that, all that stuff there, pushes off her leg. She's like, and stuff like that. And then she does the summoning jutsu there. She's like, summoning jutsu. And then mostly got a boat there. He's like, what the fuck I'm doing here in this fucking dredge? And he's pretty pissed off at Jiraiya there. He's like, oh shit, I have to get the fuck out of here before he fucking kills me. And then he's like, "God damn it, Jiraiya, you fucking summon me down there." She's like, "Hey, I summon you," and stuff like that. And he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" She's like, she's like, "I'm the one that summoned you." She's like, "You're the one that summoned me," and stuff like that. And so he's trying to fuck her off like in the original series, and mostly she stayed on, and mostly she got tired out. Technically, they take her over to the hospital, or technically she takes her over to the hospital there, and she's getting medical treatment and stuff. So when that was going on with that stuff there, when technically they got out of the hospital there, technically we go to or technically we go to the Chunin, or technically the second round of the Chunin exams there. Naruto is technically running late. She is running late there. She's like, "Oh crap, I have to get there," and stuff like that. Technically, like like Naruto in the original series, and Konohamaru is like, "Hey boss, there's like a secret way to get to the Chunin exam and stuff like that." Like, and then she's like, "Oh, you think that, Konohamaru?" She's like, "Yeah, go there." And she suddenly like falls across, and then they're like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Wait, what?" And then she gets it. She's like, "Ow!" and stuff. She's like, "That's not the way," and stuff like that. So technically, Konohamaru was like leading her all over the town, like he did, like Naruto. He did Naruto in the original series. Technically, he was getting chased, or she was getting chased there by the thing there. Mostly, she actually got to the tuning exams there, and they're like, that's Naruto, and she's like, "Get out of the way," and stuff like that. And then she gets in and stuff like that. And then they're technically waiting for Sasuke to show up there. He doesn't show up. He's like, "Well, when it's like, okay, was this? I'll just wait until this match begins and stuff like that." So technically, they start off the match there with Naruto versus Neji. So Naruto, she's like, "I'm gonna revenge my friend there, what you did to her," and stuff like that. That's what Naruto was actually saying. And then Neji's like, "Huh? So I'm facing you, Naruto." he's like, another chick I had to take down. And then she's like, shut up, and stuff like that. And then mostly, so the match begins there. Naruto is in her Shadow Clone Jutsu. She's like, Shadow Clone Jutsu. And then mostly Neji was knocking her like around like he did with Naruto in the original series, where he was knocking her around and stuff like that. She's like, damn, how the hell is doing that stuff there? He's like, well, Naruto. He's like, you don't have no protection there and stuff like that. So he technically hits her chakra points there. And she's like, try palm, 64 palm. He did his 64 palm trigram there, and then he knocked Naruto down. And he's like, and stuff like that. She's like, I'm never gonna give up and stuff like that. That's what Naruto was actually saying. And he's like, who are you and stuff like that. She's like, I can do this. It's my ninja way and stuff like that. And then she's like, and then mostly Neji's like, how the fuck you stand up and stuff like that when I hit all your chakra points and stuff like that. She's like, technically, it doesn't matter and stuff. Mostly Naruto throws some kunais right at Neji, and then he's like, that's gonna stop me. She's like, and stuff like that, and then trying to throw some like punches and kicks and stuff like that. And then he's like, your things there and stuff like that. And he also says something about the Branch family there. Mostly he was saying something about the Branch family like he did in the original series when he said that to Naruto. But technically he said that to Naruto there like he said to Naruto in the original series. He's like actually says something about the Branch family and why Hinata was the head there and stuff like that. And mostly they talked about it and stuff like that. And then she's like, that's not an excuse to beat somebody like a rag doll and stuff like that. And he's like, you want to take me on and stuff like that. So mostly Neji uses his Byakugan there and stuff like that. They technically, Naruto actually activates the Nine-Tails Chakra there. Mostly she activates the Nine-Tails Chakra, and he's like, what the fuck is this form? This red chakra? What the hell? He's like, what the fuck? And stuff like that. And she's like, and then he mostly called Hinata a worthless piece of thing. She's like, how dare you calling your own a worthless piece of worthless there. She's like, and stuff like that. And then mostly the Nine-Tails is mostly building her. She's like, nobody is worthless except you and stuff like that, calling somebody that. And then she's like, and then she mostly was beating the crap out of Neji. Neji's like, oh fuck, and he's trying to fend it off there with the Nine-Tails there. And then they mostly did a big blow. Neji does his rotation, knocks her on the ground, but he did something. He did like a massive attack. Boom, hits Naruto on the ground, and she's like technically like laying there and stuff like that. And then Tenten was actually saying, she's like, wow, Naruto, the Neji is pretty powerful, but I might give up heads for Naruto. She did pretty well, and she kept his toes up there and stuff like that. Mostly Naruto is technically digging under the ground. He's like, this is over and stuff like that. And it was a Shadow Clone. Mostly Naruto made a Shadow Clone, and she's like, wait, a hole in the ground? He's like, oh fuck. Boom! Hits Neji in the frickin' chin. He's like, oh shit, like Naruto did in the original series. And he knocked him back there. And then the match is over. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki. And then she said something about Neji and stuff like that. There's always people with dreams and stuff like that. That's what she was saying to him. He's like, damn, I lost. So when all that stuff happens there, mostly the rest of the fights go the same there. The rest of the fights go the same. Shikamaru wins his fight against Tamari. Mostly Kankuro steps back and forfeits against Shino, and that still happens there. Mostly the other Zam propers are all that stuff there until we get to the Gaara and Sasuke's fight there. Technically, the fight begins there, and then mostly it's kind of like the same with the Gaara and Sasuke fight there. Technically, Sasuke was mostly arrives there. They mostly attack him and stuff like that. And he's like, "You're ready" and stuff like that. Mostly they kind of ran late and stuff like that. That like happened in the original series and stuff like that. Mostly, so the fight begins there. Um, technically, technically Sasuke attacks fucking uh, Sasuke technically attacks fucking Gar there using things. He's using his sand block and stuff like that. He's like, you're kind of like a worthless thing and stuff like that. And he kind of said like that in the original series there. Technically, Sasuke actually bases Chidori. Naruto was like, wait, what is that? And Naruto and Sakura were like, they're like, what is that? And stuff like that. And he's like, just watch there. And then he's like, Chidori, and then hits Gar there, busts through the sand, and he gets hit by the thing. He's like, he hits him right there. He's like, my blood, and stuff like that. He's like, my blood, and stuff like that. And mostly screaming there and stuff like that, shit happening. And then then they're in Tomorrow's like, oh no, Gar's wounded and stuff. We have to get out of here and stuff like that. Mostly Gar flees the action there and stuff like that. They told Sasuke to he mostly might be passing tuning and stuff like that to go after Gar. So technically, mostly Sasuke goes after Gar there. And everybody and the Sound Ninja. Before that happens, the Sound Ninja and the Sand Ninja attack there, like in the original series and stuff like that. Everybody goes into a genjutsu there. Where everybody's like falling asleep. Mostly Sakura is not really affected by this there. Naruto does fall asleep, like she falls asleep like Naruto did in the original series. So mostly they have to release the genjutsu. Akashi was trying to fight him off, the Sound Ninja and Sand Ninja there. And technically Orochimaru attacks fucking the third Hokage there. That still happens, still plays out the same. And then the Kashi said, "Wake up, Naruto!" there, and Shikamaru, and tried to wake up Naruto and Shikamaru, and they will be really helping out, stuff like that. So, technically, Sakura does the release of the Genjutsu there. And then Naruto, she's like, "Wait, what is going on, Sakura?" and stuff like that. And then she's like, Sasuke went after Gar there and stuff like that. And then, of course, they summon Paku there, the dog, little dog, Kashi's dog and stuff. Technically, Paku bites fucking Shikamaru in the leg. He's like, ah, fuck. And then she's like, you idiot. She's like, you're the one sleeping. And Naruto's like, yeah, you're the one sleeping here. Why in the heck and stuff like that? He's like, I'm just tired of shit. That's what fucking Shikamaru was saying. He's like, I'm just tired. It was like, I'm just trying to take a nap here. So, technically, when that was going on with that stuff there, the Orochimaru, I'm not going to get really on the Orochimaru, the Hokage fight, because that plays out the same, like in the original story. So, I'm not going to do that there. Technically, mostly Sasuke going after Gaara there. Technically, he passes Tamari there, beats up Tamari, and he's like, I have to run, and that still happens in the original series. Kankuro there, Shino is going to fight Kankuro. That still happens in the original series also. Until we actually get to Gaara versus Sasuke, and mostly Sasuke was struggling with his curse mark there. Technically, Gar's turning into the Shikaku form, and he has like the big one arm thing. He's like, come at me, Sasuke Uchiha, and he's like, bring it, and then he tries to come back at him, and then he throws kunai. He's like, you can have these back, and then throws it right at Sasuke. He's like, damn, it's shit, and then out of nowhere, here comes Naruto, kicks her, boom. He's like, ugh, shit. She's like, Sasuke, you're okay and stuff like that. She's like, why are you doing this to our friends there? And stuff like that. That's what Naruto was actually saying. He's like, ooh, Naruto. He's like, ooh, what is this? And stuff like that. And then mostly he throws the freaking thing at Sakura, and then Sakura gets trapped in the tree. She's like, oh shit, and stuff like that. And then she's like, Sakura, no. She's like, come at me there, Naruto Uzumaki. And then Naruto, technically, Naruto and Gaara fight. Naruto uses her multi-shadow clone jutsu. She's coming right at him. She's like, ooh, ah, Uzumaki Mirage. Boom. Hits Gaara there. He's like, ugh, shit. He's like, you're not bad there. And stuff like that. So, mostly, and then he's like, turns into more like the full part of his form, Shikaku's form. He's like, bring it. And stuff like that. So he mostly, Naruto, she's like, this is from Akashi Sensei. And then stabs it. And then he's like, boom. And she's like, boom. And then boom, the freaking Scar's like, oh shit, and stuff like that. And mostly his sand armor gets injured because of the fight there. He's like, you're not that bad and stuff like that. And then when all that stuff is happening there, and I think this is where I'm technically gonna leave off. Where technically Naruto is fighting Gaara there. So, yep, that's pretty much it. Comment, rate, and responsive to its videos. We like, love more videos. Please subscribe. Hit the bell notification on the show uploads. Comment, responsive to its videos. We like, check out. Add your